thump 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 thump.
Wanna know the heartbeat of the mind? Our unconscious is moral and kind. It's a 6-phase roller coaster from stress to rest. This conflict resolution process shows energies expressed. Crest to crest, it goes stress, response, anxiety, defense. Put it all together and it all makes sense. Reversal, compromise, it's the 6-role process in our lives. Aristotle's plays have 3 acts. Through the beginning, middle, and end, energy reacts. And these 3 acts make up 6 parts because the passive feelings in our hearts cause the action of behavior to start. See the cycle in art, it goes stress, response, anxiety, defense. Put it all together and it all makes sense. Reversal, compromise, it's the 6-role process in our lives. Conflict resolution achieves 3 goals. This syndrome of energy transforms our souls. Antagonism becomes cooperation, mutual respect, not alienation. Passive turns to active with a happy end. So sing with me, friends, go stress, response, anxiety, defense. Put it all together and it all makes sense. Reversal, compromise, it's the 6-role process in our lives. 'Cause back and forth the pendulum swings. It's the energy behind all things. We can predict and graphically show how feelings and behaviors flow. You know they go stress, response, anxiety, defense. Put it all together and it all makes sense. Reversal, compromise, it's the 6-role process. It's the 6-role process. It's the 6-role process in our lives.
Trying to be scientific, but what happened is that psychology is what is the most important aspect of humanity, which is the need for resolving conflict. And because they couldn't identify that, so psychology became a medical specialty. And today, the world doesn't have a science of understanding the person, society, morality, and we have a medical specialty. Now, what we're doing is identifying 2 things that both religion and psychology missed. Having an object of study, having a methodology of analysis of the object. So, the object that we have, and this is the Museum of the Creative Process, is the creative process. And all the exhibits that we have here are helping to see the creative process as a scientific phenomenon. And you see here the murals. The murals are representing with 6 tiles how the mind works as a chain reaction of emotions from conflict resolution in a predictable fashion. And also another thing that you see here is that there are 4 ways of the mind resolving conflict. And the 4 ways are well known in history of civilization because religions identify them, because authors invented them. And these are the 2 things that you can see in these mirrors, the 6 tiles representing the process as a syndrome, emotional sequence, a chain reaction, which is also a pendulum transformation. 3 pendulum transformations, and the mind does its job. It reduces psychic tension, which is evolving as a deviation from what is acceptable, and it leads to social adjustment. And so social adjustment is something that psychology today doesn't understand as a psychological phenomenon. Religions did, and religions prescribe different paths to resolution. And so what I would like to introduce here as a claim to inspire you, that has inspired me for the last 60 years. And as I would like to see you inspired to understand and be helpful in developing greater awareness. I haven't finished the job in making a difference in the world today, but I have the pride of having developed this beautiful facility, and I have the good luck of having a family that is here and just about the age of graduating from school and having careers in psychology, and so and being creative. And so my interest is to share with you what inspired me, and passing the baton of the inspiration in this relay race to making a difference. We have to accept leadership. The reason we have to accept leadership is because the world needs leadership. The world needs a paradigm to believe in, to be healing itself. Tikkun Olam is this Jewish concept of healing the world. And somehow, if you have a good medicine, if you have the antibody for the infection, if you have this vaccine that can heal the pandemic, if you have the inspiration that can get people to put down their arms and talk with each other in a friendly way, if we can get people who are misbehaving like Trump, misleading the world, or like dictators like Hitler, who destroyed Europe and his own country, and destroyed our good Jewish people, and exterminated 96% of my Jewish community. Innocent, good people. So we cannot allow the world to continue being self-destructive. I have an Easter Island head in front of the sanctuary, which is crying. And the reason is because the Easter Island had a lot of heads, but no more people. The heads are representing the quest for magic from God and the failure of these gods to help the people. And we have today too many gods like in the Easter Island, too many churches, too many mosques, too many synagogues that are dividing people instead of inspiring unity and happiness. And you have the integrated paradigm. You are the people who are privileged of a new knowledge. It's the software of the mind. You have a technology that not only can heal the world, but can also make you famous, to make you rich, if that is an important motivation. And we have a duty to respond with leadership, with confidence. Scientists that do psychology today will not be very helpful to us. I have tried to inspire them with a lot of difficulty. Religious people are not going to be very friendly to somebody like Darwin and Galileo. We have to be very confident in who we are, and we have to be able to be sure of ourselves, to be a bit self-righteous, but inspired with kindness, inspired with a vision to generate a transformation. And I can see the possibility that we have the two technologies, the self-assessment that helps people to become conscious of the unconscious without being in therapy, simply by doing their self-assessment. We have the capacity for people to understand the history of civilization, playing a game, moral monopoly. And these are the two technologies that can easily transform the way people understand psychology, themselves, and religion. And we have to bridge the big gap that is existing today between psychology, morality, and science. And so this is what I give you as my baton, and I would love to see you being helpful to me while you're here in this COVID island world of ours, and to be helpful to develop the headquarters for a revolution at the gallery. And all of us do complementary functions. As a way of clarifying what this is about, I like to play the game with you of making claims and allow you to question my claims. I have 4 claims, and I would like you to question each one of them. You can question them both rationally and also with your personal attitude. You can be like the 4 children of the Haggadah, or you can be researchers and scientists. And I welcome you both manifesting your attitudes and also your curiosity. So the 4 claims that I would like to make. Number 1, that the creative process is a scientific phenomenon, abiding by 2 phenomena of science, the pendulum oscillation and the scale. The second claim is that this creative process unconscious leads to 4 types of resolution. And these resolutions are diagnostic categories of wellness. They can clarify the types of personality people have and help people to understand how they manage power and how to improve on managing power. That we have diagnostic categories that are both like the pendulum oscillation, a sequence of emotions, 6 emotions: stress, response, anxiety, defense, reversal, compromise, and also 4 modalities: dominance, submissiveness, the variations of cooperation and antagonism. So it might be easy to see that manifested in your questions, like it is manifested in the 4 characters of the Haggadah, the Jewish prayer. And the third claim is that we have a technology to identify who we are by doing the psychological assessment, which is a self-assessment, which is available online and which is free. And people can understand, doing an inventory, the personality type, and doing the metaphors, the emotional sequence. The 4th claim is that we have resolved the problem of the alienation between religions by discovering a universal moral paradigm. Morality is a scientific phenomenon, and religions are normative institutions that have discovered different norms for different ways of resolving, changing the role of a woman, the role of a man, the role of a child. So I would like you to consider that I challenge you to prove me wrong by asking questions. Either you get clarified and you vote for me, or you can object. And I would love to see a dialectic of thinking people here, questioning me, but hopefully agreeing, developing an agreement that will have here a manifesto as powerful as the Communist Manifesto, inspiring a revolution. But unlike the Communist Manifesto, being able to understand the dynamics not based on economic justice, but on emotional justice.